your boy, the biggest Caitlin Clark, the biggest racist Caitlin Clark fan, Dave Portnoy, was trying to buy himself into the WNBA through Saul Cunningham. Now, this tells me that the stud bud wasn't the first option. Mm-hmm. See, Sophie Cunningham is going to push that She's going to push the propaganda. That's why we went for her.
A recent podcast featuring Sophie Cunningham and Wes Wilson has sparked controversy regarding potential business partnerships in women's basketball. The podcast, which launched after extended negotiations, nearly included different arrangements with major media personalities. Reports indicate that Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports attempted to establish a business relationship with Sophie Cunningham before pursuing other opportunities. When that arrangement didn't materialize, attention shifted to the Stud Buds podcast, suggesting Cunningham wasn't the primary choice for collaboration. The situation has raised questions about Cunningham's motivations and business strategies. Critics argue she consistently leverages teammate connections for personal branding opportunities rather than establishing independent recognition.
Did y'all see what bro, she's a straight, I'm telling y'all, bro, she's a clout demon. She's straight up absolutely disgusting, man. Yep. This girl cannot get a name of her own. She has to use a teammate to get a brand out, and she kind of admitted to it too.
Kelsey plummeted shirt.
Why?
I don't know, dude.
Why? Not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that.
This pattern includes her relationship with Caitlin Clark and various social media interactions that appear calculated for maximum visibility. During one podcast discussion, Cunningham made statements about profiting from increased viewership, regardless of who receives credit, specifically mentioning making money from Clark-related attention. These comments reinforce perceptions that her career strategy revolves around capitalizing on more prominent players' success. The enforcer narrative surrounding Cunningham has also faced scrutiny. Despite claiming this role, her social media interactions with players who have had physical altercations with Clark appear contradictory. For instance, she praised Alyssa Thomas online, calling her one of the sweetest people she'd met, despite Thomas being involved in an incident where Clark was pushed during gameplay.
You're present for that? But no, we were just, we had a very, not really needed to be.
I just hate that because, like, this is what we've always wanted as a league. So, like, who cares who gets the credit? And if you're smart, you're making money off of them.
Yeah.
Like, you are literally making money from the viewership.
And what Kelsey plummeted shirt.
Why?
I don't know, dude.
Why?
Not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark.
So very who cares who get the credit? We just trying to bank off of Caitlin Clark. That was she said. She gonna tie the rest of her.
Business ethics concerns emerged regarding potential partnerships with Barstool Sports, particularly given the company's controversial history. The organization has faced criticism for content many consider inappropriate, including statements about assault that have been widely condemned. These past controversies make partnerships problematic for athletes, especially women who might want to maintain certain brand standards. The Stud Buds podcast initially considered working with Portnoy despite his controversial background. Critics questioned why any women's basketball-related entity would pursue business relationships with someone whose previous statements have been deemed offensive to women. The controversy highlighted broader questions about separating financial opportunities from ethical considerations.
That was she said. She's gonna tie the rest of her life into banking on Caitlin Clark. If that ain't clout chasing, I don't know what it is. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Sophie Cunningham. You're the only one. You and few of the other players on your team that's trying to clout chase out Caitlin Clark. Nobody else cares about that. Everybody else, they don't care about that Caitlin Clark stuff. You care about that. This is basketball to them. To you, this is all about business. That's why you went to Indiana. That's why you came up.
Fan reactions played a significant role in ultimately preventing the partnership. Supporters expressed disappointment that the podcast would consider associating with someone whose past comments contradicted the values typically associated with women's sports. The backlash included threatened boycotts and canceled orders, demonstrating the financial consequences of controversial business decisions. The situation revealed different perspectives within the WNBA community. While some players like Kelsey Plum have been praised for taking principled stands on various issues, others have been criticized for remaining silent during controversies affecting teammates and competitors alike. This disparity in activism has become a point of discussion among fans and analysts.
That's why you came up with that fake. Well, you ain't come up with it. The fans did. You ran with it. Talking about some enforcer. You were an enforcer, but you was kissing Mabry butt on social media. She the one that kissed. She the one that pushed Caitlin Clark. Yes or no? She pushed Caitlin Clark. So what was the enforcement then? You said Mabry is one of the sweetest person you ever met. Okay, then. So again, you was doing all that. No enforcement there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be the
Clark's association with certain personalities has also drawn attention. Her social media connections and apparent endorsements of specific content creators have raised questions about her awareness of their controversial histories. Some argue that athletes should be more selective about their public associations, particularly given their influence on younger fans. The broader implications extend to how media companies approach women's basketball coverage. Critics suggest that some outlets don't genuinely support the sport, but rather exploit certain narratives for profit. This approach allegedly focuses on creating divisive content rather than promoting the game's growth and athletes' achievements.
No enforcement there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be the enforcer. I'm gonna be best friends and that what is it? What they call it? Tris, some crap. Tris crap. Just another terminology for thought. First of all, you trying to put. I don't even know why. I hate Caitlin Clark even associate herself with you. Because it makes her look like a thought right along with you. Because some of this alleged behavior you got going on, Caitlin Clark don't even need a associate herself with you.
Phoenix Mercury fans and other WNBA supporters have weighed in on these controversies, with many expressing disappointment in certain players' choices. The discussions have highlighted the importance of authenticity in athlete branding and the risks of appearing opportunistic rather than genuine. The incident also demonstrated how business decisions can reveal character and priorities. When financial opportunities conflict with stated values, the choices made often provide insight into what individuals and organizations truly prioritize. The Stud Buds situation became a case study in navigating these complex decisions. Barstool Sports' history with women's basketball coverage has been consistently problematic, according to critics.
Need a associate herself with you. Let's just be 100. If this was anybody else, if this was DJ Carrington, we would be talking about it, right? See, people out there in Phoenix, they saying it's true. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna let you pick up what I'm putting down and put the pieces together. Now, back to Dave Portnoy. Dave Portnoy, he was trying to buy his way into the WNBA. He doesn't give a crap about the WNBA.
The company has been accused of targeting specific players, particularly black athletes, with negative coverage while promoting others. This pattern has made partnerships with the organization controversial within the basketball community. The role of family and advisors became apparent when the Stud Buds ultimately declined the partnership. Reports suggest that parental guidance helped navigate the situation, recognizing potential long-term consequences that might not have been immediately obvious to younger athletes focused on immediate opportunities. Current discussions continue to focus on the importance of brand integrity and consistent values in professional sports.
Buy his way into the WNBA. He doesn't give a crap about the WNBA. He only wants to push Caitlin Clark as guard and everybody else garbage. That's it. That's what his outlet. That's what the outlet does. They disrespect the WNBA. They say this white girl is the reason why these black women is irrelevant. That's what he keep pushing. Now, what I don't understand is why did the Stud Buds want to sit down and do business with a racist?
Athletes increasingly face scrutiny, not just for their performance, but for their business associations and public statements. The WNBA's growing popularity has intensified this scrutiny, making strategic decisions more consequential. The controversy has also highlighted different approaches to handling criticism and maintaining authenticity. Some players have been praised for addressing issues directly and maintaining consistent positions, while others face ongoing questions about their motivations and genuine beliefs. Looking forward, these incidents serve as examples for other athletes considering business partnerships and brand associations.
This right here. No way that thing actually hit me. I knew I shouldn't have tweeted that. And she tweeted out, "Stop throwing these green objects on the floor. You're going to hurt one of us." And obviously, she went and retweeted it as well. She quote tweeted the original tweet, which has 29.5 million views. I kid you not, 30 million views on this tweet. And
the importance of thorough vetting and understanding potential partners' histories has become increasingly clear as social media amplifies both positive and negative associations. The situation continues to influence discussions about player behavior, business ethics, and authenticity in professional women's basketball. As the league's profile grows, these considerations become increasingly important for both individual athletes and the sport's overall reputation. The mysterious green item continues to make headlines in women's basketball. For those unfamiliar with this situation, searching Green Object WNBA or Green WNBA will provide context.
I kid you not, 30 million views on this tweet, and she retweeted it with a 10 million view tweet with 124,000 likes. This did not age well. And, like, it's not that this was just a Indiana situation. And I remember when I said this, where it was like, in yesterday's video, I was like, there would be a there'd be an investigation of this whole thing if it was done in Indiana, and fans would be demanding, saying that Indiana is unsafe. And people were like, oh, the person got arrested. I'm like, it's not really about that. It is about
The term green object is being used to avoid platform monetization issues that occurred when the actual item was specifically named in previous coverage. Sophie Cunningham has now publicly addressed being struck by the green item. Her response came through social media, where she expressed disbelief that the object actually made contact with her. She initially regretted posting about the incident, but later shared a message urging people to stop throwing these items onto the court, warning that players could get injured. Her original tweet gained significant traction. The post she quote tweeted reached 29.5 million views, while her own response accumulated over 10 million views with 124,000 likes.
The person got arrested. I'm like, it's not really about that. It is about the performative public, like, talk and all this stuff. The performative aspect of it that only happens when it's the Indiana Fever. That opposing teams' fans are just go out of nowhere and just start, or opposing teams' players will start calling out the specific fans of a fan base. Like, something could be a league-wide thing, but when the Aces boo, it's fine. When Dallas fans boo their own coach, it's fine. But when Fever...
The phrase "this did not age well" became relevant as events unfolded. The situation extends beyond just Indiana venues. Previous analysis suggested that if such incidents occurred at Indiana games, there would likely be major public outcry and investigations, with fans demanding safety improvements and declaring the venue unsafe. This prediction proved accurate when someone was indeed arrested in connection with the incident.
Boo, it's fine. When Dallas fans boo their own coach, it's fine. But when Fever fans do it, the opponent's players need to make it a point. Need to go and make a point of it. So that's what I was talking about. Not that the WNBA weren't doing something about it, because they clearly are. They clearly are. But there's a difference between doing something and the entire, like, performative aspect of it all. The entire performative thing where it's like, okay, yeah, we've got this situation happening, and
there's a noticeable pattern where incidents involving Indiana Fever games receive disproportionate attention and criticism compared to similar situations at other venues. When other teams' fans engage in questionable behavior, such as Las Vegas Aces fans booing or New York and Dallas supporters criticizing their own coaches, opposing players rarely make public statements. Yet when Fever fans are involved, rival players frequently feel compelled to comment publicly. This represents a broader issue of selective outrage rather than criticism of the WNBA's response, which has been appropriate. The league properly investigated, identified the perpetrator, and announced the arrest. The problem lies in the performative nature of some responses, particularly social media investigations based on viral posts from individuals who falsely claim to be at games.
And instead of, doing what they actually did, which is the right thing, try to find out what happens, find out who did it, and then announce that they were arrested. Instead of just making a performative thing, being like, we're investigating reports from social media. Which was literally just a viral tweet with someone who pretended to be at the game. Someone who actually pretended to be at the game. They were like, I was in this section. Here's my seat. And they took a picture from like the media section, which was
one viral post came from someone pretending to attend the game, claiming specific seat locations while posting photos clearly taken from the media section, nowhere near their alleged seating area. Despite this obvious deception, the post influenced public discourse about the incident. The issue has now escalated into a legitimate safety concern. Lynn Roberts spoke out against the behavior, calling it ridiculous and emphasizing that player safety should be the top priority. Media coverage increasingly focuses on athlete welfare, which is appropriate given the circumstances. Interestingly, when the first incident occurred, there was initial coverage highlighting referee inadequacies rather than treating it as purely comedic. The video "The Awful WNBA Refs Have Heard a New Low" addressed how officials ignored the situation entirely. Many viewers initially dismissed the safety concerns, questioning how such objects could harm players.
Section, which was nowhere near what they said their seat was. Like it is what it is. It is what it is at the end of the day. But you've got this is an actual problem now, and it's good that Lynn Roberts spoke up against it. It's good that Lynn Roberts did. She was saying it's ridiculous. You're seeing a lot in the media now, talking about the safety of the.
However, the risks are real. Sophie Cunningham was struck in the foot. Had she been facing away, she could have rolled her ankle stepping on the object. The uncertainty about what exactly is being thrown adds another layer of concern. While some may argue these items aren't particularly dangerous, they remain projectiles being hurled onto the playing surface by unknown individuals. The WNBA faces a challenging situation. The league must address this issue without creating a copycat effect that encourages more incidents. The organization's position is difficult. They need to maintain security while avoiding drawing excessive attention that might inspire additional problematic behavior. The initial incident was poorly handled when officials filmed it closely and players laughed while referees simply pointed at the object and continued play. This response sent the wrong message about the seriousness of such disruptions.
Now, talking about the safety of the players. And by the way, you see this right here. It's ridiculous. It's dumb. It's stupid. And player safety is number one thing in the game. All of those things, And by the way, everyone's all on the player. Oh, it's all about player safety. It's all about this. It's all about that. People literally were basically saying, oh, you're no fun. When I made an entire video basically saying, after the first time it happened, after the very first time it happened,
Current incidents suggest a pattern of intentional disruption rather than isolated events. These appear to be coordinated attempts to troll the league, though the motivation remains unclear. What may have seemed amusing initially has become genuinely concerning as incidents multiply. Recent games show varying security responses. In one Fever game, the object reached the court. During a Sky game, security reportedly intercepted someone before they could throw anything. At a Liberty game, a thrown object missed its apparent target and struck a child in the stands. With a player now officially hit by one of these objects, the WNBA can no longer treat this as a minor inconvenience. While Sophie Cunningham wasn't seriously injured, the incident crossed a significant line. Arena security measures require immediate improvement to protect both players and spectators.
The first time it happened, after the very first time it happened, I made a video talking about the referees. I made an entire video talking, instead of saying instead of talking about the situation being funny, I was like, well, the WNBA refs have hit a new low. And it's an entire video about how they just ignored the whole situation. Like this video right here is about it. The awful WNBA refs have heard a new low. And a lot of the comments.
The timing of these games presents additional challenges for coverage and response. Games scheduled at unusual hours, some ending around 3 hours UNCAN local time, create difficulties for timely analysis and reporting. Thursday night games are particularly challenging from a coverage perspective. Player safety remains the paramount concern throughout this ongoing situation. The league must balance appropriate security measures with maintaining the fan experience, while ensuring that such disruptions don't become normalized or encouraged through inadequate responses.